I've been producing seed just basically to give away and for my own use that is locally acclimatized or genetically adapted to the specific variety to the specific growing climate where I live or have grown the vegetables. So you get a variety, so let's say from Iowa, and you bring it to California, you put it in the Sierra Nevada mountains at 3,500 feet elevation, where it's exposed to harsh, dry winds, cold, dry winds, blistering sun with UV rates way above the level that the plants can naturally tolerate in their previous environment, and a host of other environmental conditions that are very difficult. But after a year or two is really all it takes, you have a variety that will grow in your local environment and actually prosper with lower water needs, lower care needs, and still have consistently high yields. So this is what I've done. I have several varieties that I've taken all the way through the process of senescence for more than 2 years to where I have an overabundance of seed now. And so one of the things that comes up is like, well, why is seed saving so important? What's the big deal? Because you can just go online and just people will send you seed from all over the world if you just want to pay for it, right? Well, I'm going to be tiny bit militant. Does anyone know what that word means? Get a little bit crazy here. So I'm going to make the outlandish statement that raising and producing crops for obtaining the seed is actually an act of freedom. And I hope to make you realize that and give you the information to make you remember that and to believe it when I'm done. One of my teachers, a big influence on me, made this statement: no person is more hopelessly enslaved than the person who falsely believes himself to be free. That means people get stuck in little patterns and ways of doing things, thinking that they're exercising their free will, not knowing that the entire program that they're involved in really is controlled or is manipulated in some way, or at least is working for someone else's advantage, not theirs. And so saving seed is a way to actually obtain wealth and independence and self-sufficiency. But if people aren't aware that they have a need for those things, they're never going to save seed because, well, why? Well, it's not profitable. If you're going to take land and set it aside for the production of seed, that's land that can't produce crops on a continuous basis. And so the profit margins for a food producer aren't there for them to produce their own seed. There's no way they're going to take the acreage out of production so that they can do seeds. And then the genetic isolation required, over there you have your broccoli that you're making seed. Well, a mile away you have to have your cauliflower, or the pollens. The bees are going to transport them all the way over to your broccoli, and you're going to have broccoli flower the next year. And so no big company would ever take their land that they have set aside for profitable food production and produce seed. And on top of that, it's not less work to produce seed, it's actually more work, because you have to take a variety not just to marketable quality, but all the way through its lifespan, all the way to senescence, which a variety like broccoli takes at least 2 years. You plant it in late summer 1 year, it goes all the way through winter, all the way back around to spring, all the way through summer, and then all the way through the end of fall. So that's a year and a half, year and 8 months minimum for the variety to come all the way through to where it produces seed. So nobody wants to do that. It's not easy either. When you save seed, it's tedious. There's a relative amount of work that you're doing that you're not getting paid for. It's so why would you inherently, why would you want to save seed when you can just buy it online, get it from other people, and grow your garden? And every farmer that I've ever talked to says this thing. They go, saving your own seed is inherently wise, right? Inherently wise, because it makes you non-dependent on everyone else for your program to operate. And so it's a small price to pay to get a little bit of independence, a little bit of self-sufficiency. And I believe it's a whole heck of a lot of fun to learn a variety and watch it go all the way through its life cycle, see all the different pollinators that are interacting with it. In my yard in the Sierra Nevada mountain region where I do this, we have consistently 7 or 8 different little pollinating insects that work on the same plant. Each of them doing a little bit different job and getting a little bit different benefit from it. Okay, so Seed saving is a way to take your power back, get your independence, and to produce true wealth. How is it that if you save seed, you're actually going to make some money? Well, pound for pound, a pound of broccoli, it's a bag about so big, and 2 or 3 people can eat off of it, make a nice stir fry. But a pound of broccoli seed is enough for all of us to grow more broccoli than we would ever know what to do with, right? And so when you think about that, you're like, would I rather have broccoli for 2 or 3 meals, or would I rather have enough broccoli seed to produce more broccoli meals than I could ever want in a lifetime? See, so, and then one of the other things is if you have broccoli seed and you're selling it, to people in a community where they want that variety because it's locally adapted, it's going to flourish under harsh conditions where you live, that's more valuable to you as a food producer than getting seed from, say, Arizona, in these canyons that the Navajo have, where they have the isolated varieties, and bringing them here. You're going to have a variety that's going to produce and perform in your environment. So it's very important to have locally acclimatized